Before I send you to the weekend, Tom Pelissero, give me some names of who might shock us that they turn into a cap casualty over the next couple weeks, and they're going to be available when it's free agency time.
I don't know that there's any real shocks in terms of, the cap casualties. There's a bunch of the running backs that need to get things, figured out. We know how much the Packers value Aaron Jones, but, he took a haircut last year. He's probably going to have to take a haircut again this year. Joe Mixon took a 2-year haircut last year, so I wouldn't think there's anything there. What happens with the Browns and Nick Chubb? He's coming off of a devastating injury. Their options may well be limited, but they're going to have to figure out what their plan is at the running back position. There's a bunch of the wide receivers that I think are going to be really interesting. I mean, I'll give you the team to watch, Rich.
Sure.
Is the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh, Joe Ortiz coming in. It's a new regime. And no matter who is taking over, you're going to have surgery to do on that roster because they had a handful of guys who ate up like 85% of their salary cap last year. So you've got Joey Bosa, who's barely played in 2 years because he's had so many injuries. You got Khalil Mack, who had like 17 sacks last year. Everybody missed it because the Chargers weren't very good. Khalil Mack had an unbelievable year. He's still young enough that if they choose to trade him, there'd be value there. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Derwin James has a huge number. By the way, Austin Eckler is a free agent. The Chargers are a team that, whether it's trades, whether it's cuts, they're going to have to do a lot of different things. Again, Jim Harbaugh is another guy who he's not coming in thinking, okay, let's tear it down and we'll slowly build. He's going for Super Bowl right now, but they're going to have to make some decisions here because they've got some other spots in their roster that they need to fortify. And if they can turn one or two of those veteran players into picks or additional assets, I think that they are going to be fully exploring that.
What's your best guess? All right, I got a minute for you if you're on this about Saquon. What's your best guess in 90 seconds? What do you have?
It's a great question on Saquon because, Rich, remember, they took an initial run back at the bye week in 2022 at getting a deal done with Saquon. They offered him a significant deal prior to the franchise tag deadline last March. And their plan, based on their actions, was get the deal done with Saquon somewhere in that $12, $13 million per year range, and then franchise tag Daniel Jones. Instead, Saquon shocked, I think, everybody by turning that deal down, thinking he should be at the McCaffrey number. The Giants then have to pivot, tag Saquon, sign Daniel Jones. They still made another run at Saquon in July before the franchise tag deadline, albeit at a lower number than they were offering him in March, because now they had him for $10.1 million, and they had him a bargain on the tag. All of which is to say, the Giants clearly value Saquon Barkley. I find it hard to believe that he's going to play this year on the tag. I do believe that there will be a effort made on the Giants' part to see if they can get a deal done with Saquon. But at some point with some of these guys, you might want them to get out a little bit closer to the market, see what their value is. I wouldn't remove the possibility of another tag Rich on Saquon just to buy the Giants a little bit more time here. But there also might be some value in him going out there. We know he said he wants to be a Giant for life. We know John Mara and Giants Brass wants him to be a Giant. Let's see. Can he do way better elsewhere? Does Jim Harbaugh go out and think, I got to have a top-level run game? I'll offer him $15 million a year. Maybe that happens. I do believe the Giants will try to get a deal done. Will that actually happen prior to March 5th or March 11th or March 13th? We'll see.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.